our first song is one that we all know. In the bulb there is a flower, and we're going to sing the first two verses. Larry will play it, and then we'll sing it. Excellent. And the next one is one that everyone here knows. This is My Father's World. Okay, and if anyone else who is too shy to come and play wants to come up, I think Sue would like to meet you here at the front.
This is a little microphone, a little itty bitty. There, can you guys hear? There we go, I'll put this in here. Okay, good morning. Lily, do you want to have a seat? Do you want to stand? It's up to you. Okay, so this morning in my God box is something that we talked about in the first verse of the last praise song. Okay, sir, you're sitting close there, so you want to stick your hand, make sure it doesn't bite. There we go. What is it? You don't have to answer if you want to pass. Play or pass. Whoop, there we go. What do you think? Lilia, what do you think? It's a cocoon. It's kind of a funny picture. Why is it funny? What is this? Yeah, it's a satellite dish. I thought that was kind of funny because really, I don't think cocoons have a satellite dish.
No, they don't.
No, I didn't. Okay, well, I thought maybe I was not up on the latest hip stuff with Cocoon World, so I thought I'd just double check with you guys. So no satellite dishes, no iPods in that cocoon? No? No, so it's a cocoon. So what is it? Because it kind of just looks like a blob hanging on a stick. What is it?
It has a caterpillar, so it just knocks on the door and says, "Let me in."
How does it get there?
It makes it.
It makes it like a couple knitting needles, and it just makes a big. How does it make a cocoon?
I think it might wrap stuff around it.
Wrap stuff around it. Okay,
It makes stuff that's wrapped like silk around it.
that's an awesome suggestion. Yep, he wraps stuff around it. So the caterpillar crawls on a nice branch, wraps some stuff around it, and then watches videos. No. Okay, well, that's what I was thinking.
It falls asleep.
I want to be a caterpillar. Crawl on a branch and sleep for a while. Okay, so it's sleeping. Okay, so it's sleeping, and then what happens? Spring comes and it pops out as a butterfly. Let me see. I thought I had a piece of paper here that has. Oh, it's right under me. It pops out like a butterfly, kind of like that, right? So, and the caterpillar is hiding somewhere in there.
No.
Well, it went in there.
It turns into a butterfly.
How?
Nobody really knows because it's in a cocoon.
It's in the cocoon. It's like a secret thing going on, and that's awesome. Yep, and it's a big word called metamorphosis, which is kind of like a word for change. You change. So he goes in as a creepy, crawly caterpillar and comes out as something
A beautiful butterfly.
beautiful. Interesting. Nobody ever says a beautiful caterpillar comes in and an ugly butterfly flies out. Right? It's always like a little horned caterpillar goes in, it's been eating people's leaves in their garden and they're not happy. But then this beautiful butterfly. Butterflies are always beautiful. So the second part of the story, well, if they went in the mud and got eaten by a pig, it would be a messy looking butterfly. But most butterflies I don't see in mud being eaten by a pig. Unless maybe you lived on a pig farm, but I don't. So I see butterflies in my garden. And you see butterflies in your garden. And that reminds me of what happened a couple weeks ago, which was Easter. And it had more to do with Jesus being in the tomb than Easter bunnies. Because Jesus went into a tomb and what happened?
Easter bunnies came and let him free.
The Easter bunnies came out and let him free.
No.
Maybe in your world, that's how you tie it all together. But what happened, yes,
Good.
God changed Jesus in the tomb and his spirit, which we couldn't see what happened, right? You can't see what happens when we go from being alive to going being dead. But something happens. He moved the rock. Somebody moved the rock. Maybe the angels moved the rock. I don't know. We weren't there. But that's part of that magic of what happened inside. And that's what happens to us, is that when we die, our bodies are like a cocoon. Our bodies don't see, they don't smell, they don't taste, they don't feel. And we still look the same. But the secret part, that change that goes on, is our soul, which has already gone to be a part of God. So every time we see butterflies, it's a reminder that that's what happens to us.
Why does Easter bunnies relate to that?
I think it's because it's spring. And it's the same way chickens and eggs. And it's about, suddenly all of a sudden you see bunnies. Have you seen bunnies yet hopping across your yard?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen bunnies and robins out. Have you seen two today? Yep. Yeah. And so when we think of bunnies, we're like, oh, it's spring, it's new life, it's that change that's going on. It's all part of change. So I just want us to remember that when we see the butterflies that started off as caterpillars, the same way that we are like caterpillars, and that when we die, we go to something prettier, brighter, happier. We go be with God. We go into heaven. And there's a verse in the Bible, in the book of John, and it says, I am the resurrection and the life, which is the change in the life. Hang on there, Lil, I see ya. And whoever believes in me will not perish or will not die, because we just go on. We just can't see it maybe. Jesus did appear to the women and he appeared to some of his disciples, but that doesn't get to happen for us. So when we go on, we become our soul. It's like that butterfly. It goes to something beautiful. Well,
And then we turn into an angel,
and then you could turn into an angel. I guess we're going to have to wait and find out.
like me.
Like you. You're like an angel on the earth. That is a great way to end my story. So how about we finish with our prayer? We start with our eyes. You ready? God be in my eyes and in my seeing. God be in my ears and in my listening. God be in my mouth and in my speaking. And God be in my heart and in my loving. Amen.